we've learned over the past several years that you're really better off put your house on the market January, February, when you don't have 1, 2, 3 other houses in your neighborhood on the market. Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with Sell for 1%. Have Jay DeBaum with us here this morning, along with my youngest, Jay Marinsky. And we have our term of the week. And the term this week is an interesting one, fellas. It's days on market. In the MLS, it's DOM. It's also CDOM, the C standing for cumulative days on market. And the thing that I find interesting about this term of the week is the number has gone up. And so the latest numbers that we have, we actually had the January numbers. The average days on market up a couple of days from last January. But the interesting one is the full year statistic that we have. Now, the full year statistic for 2023, the average days on market in the entire MLS was about 24 days. The year previous, in 2022, the number was 18 days. And so we're up about 33%, a third higher. And then, of course, as I mentioned, in January, but January tends to be a little bit slower anyways, is about 35 days on average for January. Now, the interesting thing for me, and this is for our buyers, when we are out there looking for a buyer, one of the things that everybody's jumping on right now is as soon as a house hits the market, through the MLS, there's typically a email database. If it meets the criteria of that listing, then everybody on that list gets an email, hey, here's a new listing. And then we get the phone calls from our clients, hey, there's a new listing, let's go look at this. I've got one scheduled for Friday. Jay, you had Lafayette, Plain City Road that we went and looked at. I think maybe the second day it was on market with these clients. And it's interesting to me that currently in the MLS, and this is the entire MLS, this goes from basically Marion down to Circleville, from Springfield over to Newark and all points in between, that currently there's 2,306 active listings. Of those 2,306, 813 of those listings have been on the market for 90 days or more. Now, it would seem to me as a buyer that I would be looking at those, because it would seem like those sellers are probably a little more motivated to sell than the guy that's coming on the market today. I mean, obviously today they're motivated, but you're going to have much more competition. 3, 4, 5. Jay, on Lafayette, Plain City, how many offers did you end up with on that property? 2. Okay. So the last one I had over on Possum Run down in Grove City, we ended up with 4 offers on that deal. And so we are seeing multiple offers. And Jamie, you're working with buyers pretty heavily right now. When you go look at a new listing, are you running into multiple offers already this early in the season?
Yeah, absolutely. There was one in Westerville last weekend that, put in a $30,000 over asking price offer and didn't get it. And they, multiple offers. And yeah, we're seeing it again on the MLS, the announcements, the additional notes. Hey, multiple offers due at this time.
Right.
So yeah, the ones that are just hitting the market the competition is high.
And it's going to get worse because a lot of buyers and sellers, have the mindset is like, we'll start looking in the spring market. So March, April, May, June, that's when we're going to put our house on the market, or that's when buyers are coming back into the market. We've learned over the past several years that you're really better off put your house on the market January, February, when you don't have 1, 2, 3 other houses in your neighborhood on the market because of that mindset, and you still have pretty much the same number of buyers. So long story short is days on market, I think for a buyer, I wouldn't discount those houses. And it may very simply be that seller has become a little more motivated to sell, and the agent on the other side, on the listing side, may not know quite how to handle, that seller. And so you're stuck on the price. House sits for 90 plus days. Seller's willing to negotiate, but you haven't done anything with the price on the house. And let's say the house is $350, average sales price here in Columbus. You might be able to get that house for $310, $315, or something like that. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to put an offer in like that. Now, I will admit, and Jay, you do a lot of listings as well. If we have a house that happens to sit that long, there's usually a reason why it's sitting. And a lot of times it's cosmetic. And cosmetic does not scare me. In fact, I prefer to find a house that needs paint, carpet, some updates.
Whatever.
Yeah. That house on Lafayette Plain City Road, Jay, perfect example. You have an older seller who has lived in the house for 30 years. Mechanically, the house was in great shape. I mean, the roof was updated. I think the furnace, we looked at the serial number, was installed in 2019. Hot water tank was fairly new, but it had old carpet. It had wallpaper. It had, cosmetically was just ugly. But those are things that you can fix fairly cheap. And so anyways, I think that, looking for properties like that, days on market for a buyer in this current environment is something that buyers should look at. Jay Marinsky, you again work with a lot of buyers. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to look at one here on Thursday. It will be new on the market. They're already calling for highest and best. It's priced about $40,000 lower than the market, and it is exactly what you said. I mean, the HVAC, furnace, same thing, AC, all updated. But you have an electric stove from 1960. You have a washer from 1960. You have, the same, in an old telephone with the spinning,
notary dial.
Yeah. Wallpaper everywhere. And it's like, priced accordingly. But for the right buyer, you work those numbers back and it could work out. And again, the cosmetic challenges, like Dave said, days on markets on the market, 90 days. Well, nobody wants to replace all the kitchen appliances. Right. Well, if you work backwards and the numbers make sense and you're going to plant roots there, let's go pick that one up.
So just real quick, of the 2,306 active listings, 1,428 have been on the market for more than 30 days. 1,034 have been on the market more than 60 days, and 813 of those 2,306 active listings, 813 of them have been on the market for more than 90 days. So give it some thought, buyers. There could be some diamonds in the rough out there waiting for you. So take a look at those as well. All right, guys, I appreciate your input. Good discussion about days on market. And if you like this kind of stuff, we do it every week. We'd love for you to subscribe to our channel, but even more so, we would love for you to give us a call here at Sell for 1%. I'm 26 years here in March. Jay, you're 19 years. Jamie, you're 6 years into this now already. It's crazy. There's a ton of experience here. We don't know it all, but we have a pretty good idea of how to get you into the home that you want to buy. And if you're thinking about selling, we do a pretty good job on that side as well. So give us a call here at Sell for 1%. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk again next week.